It's the 1970s. The gas crisis is raging, and the government is cracking down on emissions. The golden age of American muscle is officially over, right? So then, how in the world did the 1977 Pontiac Firebird Trans Am show up looking like that? I mean, just look at it. While every other car company was playing it safe, Pontiac basically said, nope, and dropped this absolute predator onto the streets. They slapped a massive, screaming phoenix on the hood, a decal so bold they literally nicknamed it the Screaming Chicken. And that wasn't just for show, that was a declaration of war. They gave it those gorgeous, intricate snowflake wheels, and a wide, hunkered-down stance that just oozed aggression. And get this, they even offered a T-top roof, turning this beast into a personal luxury cruiser that felt like something from the future. This wasn't just a car. This was Pontiac's middle finger to the so-called Malaise era, built in places like Van Nuys, California, and Norwood, Ohio. And it was a desperate, glorious gamble that would end up changing everything. You see, by 1977, there was a secret war going on under the hood of every American car. The government wanted efficiency and clean air, but Pontiac knew what you really wanted, what you truly craved. So what was the secret code? How would you get the real deal? Well, you had to know the options. The base engine was a 6.6-liter from Oldsmobile, a capable motor, but built for smoothness, not for screaming performance. But for those in the know, the true gearheads, there was a different path. A path that led to Pontiac's own 400 cubic inch V8. And if you check the right box on the order form, you got the W72 performance package. This wasn't just a badge. This was Pontiac sneaking a real muscle car engine past the regulators, giving you more horsepower, a 4-barrel carburetor that gulped air, and a sound that would rattle your soul. And this power was wrapped in one of two iconic bodies. You had the sleek, secure coupe, or you had the legendary T-top. Removing those panels transformed the car into the ultimate open-air cruiser, a rolling statement of freedom. So, you see, the 77 Trans Am was a masterpiece of choice. You could have the polite version, or, if you knew the code, you could have the legend, the one that truly earned its Screaming Chicken. Think about the most iconic duos in history. Butch and Sundance, Lennon and McCartney. And in 1977, a new pair exploded onto the scene. Burt Reynolds in a car. But here's the crazy part. What if I told you that car, the one that became a superstar, wasn't even the first choice? The studio wanted something else. But the film's director, Hal Needham, a legendary stuntman himself, knew. He knew the car had to be more than just transportation. It had to be a character. It had to be cool, rebellious, and impossibly fast. And so, the black and gold T-top Trans Am was cast. And it didn't just share the screen with Burt Reynolds, it stole the show. This car wasn't a pristine garage queen. It was a workhorse. They modified it, reinforced the suspension for those insane jumps, and used a special camera car just to keep up with its own stunts. And the impact was absolutely nuclear. The year after Smokey and the Bandit hit theaters, sales of the Firebird Trans Am skyrocketed by over 70,000 units. Let that sink in. A movie didn't just feature a car, it saved a brand. It transformed the Trans Am from a fast machine into a symbol of American freedom, rebellion, and pure, unadulterated cool. Burt Reynolds was the Bandit, but the Trans Am was the star. Everyone remembers the Bandit car. It's the superstar. But what if I told you the Trans Am had a secret life as a Hollywood character actor? See, in Hollywood, a car isn't just a car. It's a shortcut to a character's soul. And directors quickly realized something. The Trans Am was the perfect vehicle for the resourceful hero. The guy who was sharp, capable, and maybe played by his own rules. It was the car for the modern cowboy, the Hollywood stuntman who lived life on the edge, just like his on-screen characters. And then, they took it a step further. They looked at this car, this symbol of pure 1970s Americana, and saw the future. Think about that genius for a second. They took the coolest, most recognizable car of the decade and made it talk. They turned it into a thinking, feeling, crime-fighting hero for a new generation. That's the secret. The Bandit car was a rebel, but the Trans Am's true Hollywood power was its versatility. It could be the reliable partner for a private eye, the cool ride for a daredevil, or a futuristic superhero. It wasn't just a product placement, it was a personality placement. And that's a legacy no other car from the era can claim. We've seen it rule the silver screen, but where did you really see a 1977 Trans Am in the wild? Hint, it wasn't just in your neighbor's driveway. Think about the king himself, Elvis Presley. He didn't just own one, he collected them. He famously bought them for himself and his entire Memphis Mafia crew. For the king of rock and roll, only the car that was the king of the road would do. And then there was Sylvester Stallone. At the peak of his Rocky fame, he drove a black Trans Am. Think about the symbolism there. It was the ultimate underdog-made-good car, a champion's ride that was powerful, aggressive, and unmistakably American. And you can't forget the boss, Bruce Springsteen. He was the voice of the American everyman, but his choice of car? A fire-engine red Trans Am. It was the perfect vehicle for the poet of the highway, a raw, powerful machine that matched the energy of his epic road trip anthems. So from the recording studios of Memphis to the boxing gyms of Philadelphia to the rock stages of New Jersey, the Trans Am was there. It was more than just metal and horsepower. It was the four-wheeled embodiment of 1970s stardom itself. But for every car that basks in the Hollywood spotlight, there's a shadowy double. A car built for a different kind of night. And the same features that made the Trans Am a movie hero. Its blistering speed, its rugged durability, its anonymous, dark-colored paint, made it the perfect tool for a very real-world clientele. This was the car of choice for organizations that valued performance above all else. We're talking about the crews of infamous mob boss John Gotti. They used these cars as sleek, powerful, and utterly unremarkable-looking transports. An escape car, and nothing on the American road could catch a determined Trans Am. It wasn't just a car for them, it was a four-wheeled insurance policy. This is the dark, twisted complement to the Trans Am's legend. Its reputation wasn't just built on movie magic and celebrity endorsements. It was forged in the very real, very dangerous world of outlaws who needed the best machine money could buy. And they always chose the Trans Am. So here's the ultimate question. In a world of hypercars and autonomous vehicles, why does this 45-year-old machine still make our hearts pound? It's not just one thing. It's the perfect storm. It was a masterpiece of design that broke all the rules when everything was telling it to play it safe. That screaming phoenix wasn't a decal. It was a battle cry. It's the star power. It's the memory of Burt Reynolds' smirk and the sound of KITT scanner. This car isn't just metal. It's a time machine straight to the heart of 1970s and 80s pop culture. It's the gritty, real-world edge. The whispered stories of its life in the fast lane, far from the Hollywood sets. The knowledge that this car wasn't just for show, it was for show-offs, for outlaws, for anyone who dared to be different. That right there is the magic. The 1977 Trans Am is more than a car. It's a feeling. It's the defiant spirit of an era, captured in steel, horsepower, and attitude. It's the unkillable American legend. And that is why we are still obsessed.
Next time, we're stepping into a different world of American luxury. We're talking about the one 1950s car that didn't just get you noticed, it got you admitted. If you want to see the car that defined true, undisputed success, well, you know what to do. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss it. Until then, keep driving.